Aussie Cricket League 2023. It's the Eagles of Afghanistan taking on the Sri Lankan Lions. The captains have already arrived in the middle. The captain of Afghanistan Eagles, Adam Amin, who's searching for his first win in the tournament and wants to continue the winning streak, does the captain of Sri Lankan Lions, Mahela Udawate. Alongside him is Seneca, our match official, Ankur and Harry, the heart of Aussie Cricket League. The coin will go up now. Heads is the call. The coin's gone for a stroll. What is it? Seneca. And heads it is. Amin, what's your decision and why?
We'll have a bat first, so yesterday we've chased, today we're going to try some time and see how it goes from there.
Today the conditions are very different as well.
Yes, hopefully the wicket's a bit flatter now and hopefully it spins a bit in the afternoon.
Any changes in the side for this big game?
Yeah, we've got a couple of changes. We've got Zadok, who's a fast bowler, comes in, and we've got a right-arm offie coming in as well.
A fantastic one.
Thank you, you too.
Mahela, now what would you have done?
I would bowl first because previous game is a new.
In 20-over contests, in ACL especially, Sri Lanka has been dominating. Now it's a curtailed game. Anything can happen?
Of course, T20 is you can't predict the result. We have to play extremely well to get the result favour us. We are hoping to continue the good form.
Any changes in the side for this game?
Just one change. Premium is not to
Give us a good game, Mahela. So the news from the centre, Afghanistan Eagles have won the toss and they want to be batting first.
Thank you very much, Suhas. So 15 overs aside, we're looking forward to it. We've started late due to the rain. It means that 4 over power play and 5 bowlers, of course, a maximum of 3 overs each. And Sri Lanka, undefeated in the competition, won their first game on Monday, while the Afghanistan Eagles, well beaten yesterday, despite making a good fist of the run chase of the Mavericks, 178. They finished with 157. So we're looking forward to what should be a good game of cricket with, as what Suhas has just said, Afghanistan winning the toss, electing to bat. My name's Dan Lonigan. Grant O'Hara's with me. Welcome, Grant. Not a great day, but we're getting some cricket, which is fantastic.
No, that's the only time I'm going to disagree with you all day. It's a cricket day, and that's a great day in my books, Dan. Good to see you again, mate.
You too, mate.
Yep, lovely to be working with you.
Lovely to be here. So, Kurasaka will kick things off. He got 2 wickets in the first game. Former one-day international bowler in the world, one of the great one-day bowlers, 199 career wickets. Look forward to seeing Lachlan Bangs bat again. Did well yesterday, and bat on the pad, knocked into the offside, a run straight away. And
that's lovely intent. There's nothing better than getting off the mark as an opening batter. Your mate down the other end looked up, eye contact, let's go, and through for a single. Good start, good intent.
New opening bat. Tashina looked all right in the middle order for a while yesterday. And opening with Lachlan Bangs. Their impact players, Afghanistan, will be Darwa Khan and Gabe Lawson, depending on what state of the game it is. Gabe Lawson is the spinner who's played some cricket for Ringwood in the firsts in the Premier Cricket competition. And the impact player
up and flicks it. That was such a lovely shot. Timing, all timing.
Without a lot of effort too, Grant.
Watching it again.
This one he dabs away, thinks about a run. The wicketkeeper Mapper was involved in a great run out the other day. Takes his glove off. He was very quick indeed to pounce.
Yeah, that would have been suicide.
Yeah.
Absolute suicide had they gone there.
I don't like labouring the point because I met both men, but that was Rick Dale and Graham Wood again. Good fellows. Good cricketers they were too. Hit into the pad. They'll run this time. Good fancy footwork by Janota. The big man was on the move, but they make their ground. Again, they were pretty decisive, the two batters, Grant.
This is going to be a 140 plus par wicket, even close to 180. I think it's coming on nicely. You're getting full value for your shots. And this is a really nice start between these two openers. There seems to be a good understanding between them. Let's get off the mark. Let's rotate the strike.
Gee, if they get 140 in 15 overs, it'll be a great performance. Here's Big Janota again. And Bangs beaten outside the off stump. Looking to drive, had the head in the air a bit. Didn't quite get his foot to the pitch, and a rare dot ball from the bat of Lachlan Bangs over the first 2 days.
Just taking a look at the wicket there, Bangs. He knows from yesterday, no half shots, follow through.
None
There's
for
plenty
13.
of opportunities on the leg side.
He drives this next one on the bounce, and he thought about having a run. He hit it a little bit too firmly to mid-off, whitish mid-off.
I'll tell you why he thought about having a run, Dan. It's like when you're batting like that and I've hit that right in the middle, go!
Yes.
You think, yeah, no, hang on a minute. It's gone straight to the field and quickly, and would have been danger.
Will Robinson, he had to retreat, and he did. You get annoyed with that, don't you? It can be one of the best shots you played all day, and you hit it straight to a fielder.
Oh, that feels nice. We'll run on that. Oh, no, hang on. That's gone straight to the fielder.
It did. So the outfield, despite all the rain, looks like it's still moving beautifully.
I love this precinct, Dan. I've just saw the drone image of this whole precinct, and it's a credit to the area, the council, the whole setup down here. We must thank the Victorian government for supporting this competition, along with Landmark Investments Australia, who are the naming rights sponsor. Can't do it without the support of the community, and this is a lovely community operation that's happening here, headed up by Harry and Paddy and the rest of the team.
Gainwright accountants as well from Cranbourne have been here since day dot, supporting it.
We've got new teams from Perth. It's growing. It's in its 3rd year, growing all the time. Spin for the first time today.
Tashin hits this high, hasn't hit it very well. Is it going to be caught? You bet it is. First delivery for the spinner. It went high in the air and up and down in the one spot, and the bowler with his first ball has taken the catch, and unfortunately for Tashin, he perishes early stages of the 4th over.
Yep, 1 foot down, skies the ball, and for me, we talk a lot about matchups in the T20 game, or this is a T15 now, and that was a matchup that clearly the opening batter liked. And so instead of just taking the single or looking to see what the wicket was doing, he decided to go first ball and risk and reward. Risky. And on this occasion, unfortunately, Dan, no reward.
Now, Jayasundra, who's got the green boots, he normally wears 49. He's wearing 84. Of course, he's also got the interesting haircut. I'm just jealous, though. It is the mohawk. And he would normally wear sunglasses when the sun's out. And he's a good bowler and gets a wicket with his first ball. So Tashin is out, caught and bowled by Jayasundra. First wicket falls.
What a great start for the left-arm orthodox.
He's out for 8, Tashin.
Yeah, he bowled nicely, as you said, on day one.
So Adam Amin, good Premier cricketer for the Ringwood Cricket Club, the captain, electing to bat first, on the back foot and pushes away to the onside. And Bangs is pretty quick. These two, as I say, know each other well, both playing for Ringwood this year, have batted a bit together as well in Premier cricket.
And good intent. Nice push, single, supported by his partner. Rotating the strike. And again, we have the left-handed, right-handed combination, which is important for Afghanistan to try and
get the Sri Lankan bowlers off their line a bit. He flicks that away.
A little bit of turn, a little bit of nice turn and bounce there from the left arm orthodox, bowling around the wicket to the left-hander.
Came back into him with a bit more turn and flicks it back down along the onside, so dot ball again.
The reason why these spinners are so effective is because they attempt to get through their overs very quickly, and you look up and before you know it, they're finished.
Yes, the batter doesn't get a chance to settle. Sundra again. He gets an edge here. First slip had it been there, it might have been caught. He wasn't. Goes to the boundary for 4. If he had have executed it correctly, in fact, he didn't even get an edge. It's 4 byes.
And it's one of those ones where the keeper, the bat flays and the keeper just doesn't quite get across. Maybe predicting a little bit of turn. It was the arm ball that went straight on, and that's 4 byes.
And he runs. 1 for 18 in the 4th. Peel for a catch behind. He's got him. He attempted to steer that on the back foot. It's taken a faint edge. And Bangs has gone. Great piece of bowling. He darted that through then. Jayasundra, and he's having an influence. Afghanistan in trouble. 2 for 18 in the 4th.
Well, not just quite, because he's gone for a review.
Oh, he has gone for the review.
Yep, he was quick to go up. Well, he spoke to his mate and down the other end, and that's going up for review. But the keeper looked very confident, and so did the bowler. So clearly there's must be some sort of noise, faint edge, if there was an edge.
Let's have a look. Yeah, to me there's a faint edge. Coat of varnish, but a tickle. I felt there was a bit of a deviation there, Grant.
Yeah, I'd love to. At this stage, our technology hasn't quite extended to Snicko.
No.
But we've got the third umpire who's going to forensically analyse that, what she's doing right now. He's in communication.
Ash Barrow, who was even on the roller today, doing everything, the great man.
Yep.
Let's have a look again. Yeah, I can see a slight deviation. We're talking slight.
Let's see what the umpires do here. He's giving him out.
Yeah. Big wicket.
Yep, that's out. Well done, third umpire. Well done, umpires.
And good piece of wicket keeping again by Mapper.
Do you know what can happen, Dan, in those situations? And I'm going to stick up for Lachlan Bangs here. Sometimes your bat handle can creak or make a little noise, and that can be mistaken for a snick. Having said that, if it's that faint, the batter off may not have known that as well, so that's why he sent it up for review.
Yeah, well, that's true too. I mean, the LB's to me the most obvious ones with the batter. If he knows he's not out, he'll call it straight away, and if he knows he hasn't nicked it, he'll call it straight away as well.
Yeah, that's right. And that really wasn't straight away. He did go down and confer with his partner, and his partner said, well, I'm not sure, maybe you can send that up, which is what they did. But anyway, let's have a look at it. 2 for 18. And Javed, I love watching him bat. Gee, he batted beautifully. Yesterday he was just commanding.
Involved in a really good partnership with Bangs, which made us think, gee, maybe they're half a chance here, the Eagles. Chasing a massive score. Here's Janota. It cut away short, and what a beautiful cricket shot that is. There wasn't much of a gap.
I love that shot, Dan. Look at this. Just wideish, outside off stump, rocks back, follows through, and such beautiful timing. That was 4 from the moment it left the bat.
Between point and cover. And there would have been a 5-metre gap between the two fielders. Stacked offside field. And again, he strays on the leg stump. So wide outside the off, straying on the leg, not quite getting the line right. It's noodled around the corner
Yeah,
by the skipper, Ammon.
find that interesting. They've got the protection, deep third man, and like that deep square leg, cutting off the single. They've got a short, fine leg too inside the circle. Of course, we're still on the power play.
Yep. Last over the power play, and there's reduced game today, the two 15 over side matches because of the weather. Genoda again, and it's poked to point. They think about a run, great return. Jarvid was on his way and he had to retreat, and the return wasn't far away from hitting and might have had Jarvid in some trouble.
Yes, this dab into the circle and go. So if the fielder is on the perimeter of the circle, you can nearly get there every time, but that was tight.
2 for 24.
Ouch.
Oh, he gets him on the hand on this occasion. It was short of a length delivery that took off a little bit, and he's just feeling a bit uncomfortable. Adam Armin, the captain. A little bit quicker than anticipated too for the solidly built Afghan captain. Good cricketer, loves the game. And again, that one had a little bit of bounce in it, and he just avoids it outside the off stump.
And no problem for the batter there. Bit too wide. One thing, batting in these conditions, I always found it made me really intensely want to watch the ball, and it's good for batting. It's good for batting when you're doing that. You just adjust.
Last ball, the fourth over. It's 2 for 24. Jayasundra getting 2 wickets in and over. And that's good bowling, dropping it into the offside. Java was a bit slow to get moving. And even Adam Armin was slightly hesitant, thinking, Java, what are you doing? Because there was some gaps there with the fielders just inside the circle on that offside. But he dropped it a few metres from the bat. 2 for 25 after 4, Afghanistan.
Yeah, that was a really good summary there, Dan, because Java then gave him the thumbs up and said, mate, you were right. Yeah, there was plenty of time for a single there. So concentration happens at both ends of the wicket when you're batting. Concentrate just as hard. And maybe he was just sort of thinking about the last ball. And back to the spin.
Well, he's got the 2 wickets, Hemantha Jayasundra. 2 for 1. Current run rate 6.25. Oh, that kept low. Darted away, and again, not far away from point, but they run straight away.
Yeah, a lot of these spinners have several deliveries, and that, could he just hear Richie Benaud saying something like that was the slider, one that slides on. And more speaking about his beloved leg spin, of course, the great Richie, but yeah, just slid on with the arm.
And it'd just be, that's the slider. That's a full pitched delivery that in the end nearly Yorks Jarvid, who has to push into the offside, no run.
Yeah, Richie was one of those great adapters, wasn't he? He
Brilliant.
just knew what brought people to the game.
Jayasundra again has Jarvid getting one well up and just knocking it away. 2 dot balls in a row. This is exquisite bowling by the left arm spinner. Landmark, our major sponsor, ACL Day 3, 2 games reduced in overs. Attempting to cut, not taken cleanly behind the stumps by Mapper. Didn't move his feet, again keeping low. Bit of air. Driven well by Java to break 3 dot balls in a row. Down to long off, Curé off the boundary. He'll be required on to bowl, the big man. 2 for 27 in the 5th. Last ball of this over. And again, he drops it away, Armin, to complete the over. Again, right on line. Outstanding bowling. 2 runs from that over. 2 for 3 for Jayasundara. He's got both wickets. And it's 2 for 27. Quick look at the batting card with Suhas about to join us. Tashin was caught and bowled for 9. And Lachlan caught Mappa bowled Jayasundara for 2. Jayasundara claiming both wickets and doing a great job.
Advantage to the Lincoln Lions, 2 for 27, they'd take that, particularly only off 15 overs. That may be a little bit under par, so very good bowling, good fielding, and the batting team will be looking to step it up a little bit from here. So only 10 overs remaining, given that we have a reduced number of overs with 15, and it's a pleasure for the first time today to welcome Suash. Hello, Suash.
Thank you so much, Grant. Very good afternoon to everyone watching. Very good afternoon, Grant. 27 for 2 Afghanistan. Such a good afternoon for them in this game. Losing 2 wickets, winning 3. Khalid Puri. Someone who won the game with a bat in hand in the first encounter. What's been most impressive, Raj, to see the Sri Lankan Lions operate with the ball in hand is that they've figured out the right length to be bowling.
They've got plans. I agree with you, Suresh. They've got plans, and they are sticking to that plan. It's no matter what the conditions, line and length is critical in cricket. And once you hit that line and length, just as the great bowlers do, they're very hard to get away.
Big swing and a miss. But that's the way Javed plays as well. Less belief in footwork, more belief in fireworks.
Yesterday he hit the first one right in the middle, and I thought, oh, what a player. And he'll just take his time, just getting the pace of this wicket. We are on the 3rd wicket today, so this is the 3rd new wicket that we've used in the tournament so far, and each one are playing just slightly different. So he's going to have to work out the difference between yesterday's conditions and problem solve and come to terms with these conditions. Oh boy, he's lucky to get away with that. He didn't quite get it. Came through quicker than he expected, and he top edged it, and because there's no players in the circle, they're now being pushed out. Heavy protection on the onside, and he got away with that.
It's the last over of the power play, and Afghanistan want to make use of that. It's been 14 balls since the last boundary already, and in a curtailed contest, you might say the power play is curtailed as well. So that means it's not going to be a 6-over power play. Oh well, this is going to hurt him though. The captain flinching in pain.
Yep. Oh, he's gone forward there, and that's just that ringing sensation that you get when the ball jams, into the pointer finger. So that's hit right on the pointer finger. I've had that one happen a number of times, and it just immediately, for me, just blows up. It almost becomes impossible to hold the bat. As much as when you think it almost feels like it's broken, but it probably isn't. But it just makes it hard to hold because that's such a vital element of your hand, part of your hand to actually hold the bat. Always seems to hit there for some reason. But anyway, thank goodness we've got cricket, Suash, because this is a wonderful tournament. It has got so much going for it. It's 7 to 8 days of top cricket, players coming from all parts to be part of this. We've got the new team in the Perth Phantoms who played extremely well yesterday. Great introduction to it. We just need the cricket weather gods to look after us and make sure that we get through.
Arrange a meeting for the cricket gods and weather gods.
Could you do that, please, Suresh? I think have you got a line to the big man upstairs?
Why not? 2 runs in this over with a ball to go.
I should say big person upstairs. I want to be politically correct on that.
Absolutely.
Have you got a thought on a competitive total? We've only got 15 overs.
Good question. This now again, I want to take into consideration the wind factor and the response of the surface. This is a good bowling wicket, and I love that. Restores the balance. Oh yes, some intent that there is a man at deep backward square. 3 runs of this over from Kure.
Gee, the Lankan Lions. For me, they're the team that's on a real high at the moment. They're playing nicely. As I said, I noticed that they seem to be really playing to a plan. Just stick to our line of length. Let's support our bowlers. Let's cut off the singles where we can and the boundaries. And it's a really nice display by this team at the moment. It's just they're finding it difficult to get them away at the moment, the Afghanistan Eagles.
That end was possessed. A Bale that does not want to stay in the groove can never be a batter's friend.
He's a good player, Karai, isn't he?
Oh, sensational.
Boy, oh boy, he's a good player.
He's eked out wins from difficult situations for his side, and he's doing that time and again in ACL. Even last year, Kure was one of the members whom you would want to call the fulcrum of the entire side, and it's no wonder the Sri Lankan Lions have gone literally unchanged.
New bowler, Silva, love the amount of air that he gives. He's really courageous, throwing the ball above the eye line and tempting the batter. Let's see if you can get a points decision here.
Superb stuff. Mapa wasn't very excited.
Good hustle there by Javed. Got through for that single. It was a tight single. Yeah, well in. Good fielding, good cricket.
Excellent awareness that a single was there to be taken as well by Javed.
Javed just taking time to find his rhythm at the moment.
That struck him outside off, and that's exactly why the umpire's finger wasn't lifted. Ankur, the umpire.
And the leg by signalled. And this is just the beauty of sport. One day can be diamonds, the next day rocks, and there's no doubt Javed looking to turn from rocks to diamonds here. One shot can change things.
Extra bit of bounce. Mapa couldn't curtail it.
And seems a little harsh, but yes, that's definitely buys.
Keeping, I tell you, one of the most difficult things to do.
Yeah, the good things with these conditions, you play each ball on its merits, and that was just a nice cut out to the sweeper and a deep cover. You come down, you talk to your partner, and you work as a team. There's 2 of you, there's 11 of them, so how are we going to work together as a team to get on top of our opposition? We're going to do that through quick quick singles. You do that by getting on the front foot and supporting each other. Looks like we have a change of bowler at the southern end. It's Solomons to come into the attack. Andy Solomons, right arm medium pacer. The Afghanistan Eagles captain on strike, Adam, 11 off 12. Javed, 5 off 13. Just got a feeling that if Javed can just see a few in the middle, he'll be away. He'll be ready to charge. Good cricket, nice bowling, good line. Adam playing each ball on its merits.
Now that's exactly what Adam can do. It's taken him 14 deliveries, but he's found the sweet spot of the bat. What a shot.
You're right, Suresh. Look, things can change really quickly. You get one in the middle, and all of a sudden, momentum starts to shift. And he's been waiting for that. He's been sweating on that. Look at all the red right in the middle of his bat. Signifies where he likes to hit them, right in the middle.
Get more red in the middle of the bat, and you also attract a sponsor for it.
Well, that is, yeah, it's blank bat, isn't it? Yes. I'm about to do interviews.
All the best. Oh, good ball. Solomons is a little difficult a customer to deal with also because his slingy action. Not as much as Malinga, who's sitting in the dugout.
Isn't it lovely to see Malinga? He's one of the great cricketers in the world. Played in so many countries, been successful in so many countries. A variety of conditions, yeah, it's great to have him here.
When you rub shoulders with the legends, you yourself want to improve. He's one of the best cutters of the cricket ball, Adam. One of the best cutters of the cricket ball, Adam, isn't it, Grant? Isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's playing each ball on its merits. We've got a bowler bowling to a plan at that sort of outside off stump with the protection of the deep cover. And the strike rotation there by Javed. So Adam moves to better than run a ball. Javed still waiting to ignite his innings.
This is a good comeback by Solomons. Oh, this was a leg spinner. Is Solomons actually a leg spinner with slightly longer run-up? He's bowled it well, hasn't he?
That's one thing. How these medium pace guys actually control the leg spinner, which is obviously their slower ball version normally, just try and get that steeple bounce. How they control it bowling with their arm speed at that speed is another skill set that's just developed through the T20.
Absolutely
format.
right, Grant. Absolutely right. But how would you feel if Adam Zampa suddenly bowls one seam up?
Well, these guys will try and tell you, they've got 20 different deliveries, and I'm sure they've got Shane Warne prior to every Ashes to say, I've got a new surprise ball, mystery ball.
Mystery ball. I think it's just to do with the mind of the batter. Shane Warne, the great.
Exactly right.
He renamed a few as well just because he was having fun with it.
Exactly.
Or he got bored of one delivery.
Exactly.
The zinger, zoota, everything. These are words that you usually find on a burger menu.
There's a rotation, and here's Martha back into the attack at 2 for 3, 2 for 4. He's been so difficult to get away. tremendous control. And that's a boundary. Cut away. Lovely timing. Javid. That could ignite this innings. Just outside off stump. Cut away. And unfortunately made the ground to the ball there, but just escaped him. Went for 4. Javid's first boundary. And all of a sudden that can make a shift for you.
He's picked up 2 crucial wickets in the same over. Started off with a wicket, ended with a wicket. Kumbu, Jayasundara Hemanta. It's important that Javed doesn't waste many deliveries either. He plays his natural game, that is to attack, because Adam has started to attack. Afghanistan Eagles are looking for a bounce back in this game. Intent was right, execution wasn't. Now we've got Dan alongside someone very special from the Afghanistan Eagles camp. Let's find out who it is and what he has to say.
To get all these youngsters from our local clubs around Melbourne come together and play together and represent the Afghan community within Melbourne and Australia.
Team was pretty good yesterday. Probably didn't bowl as well as they would have liked, but they still batted pretty well, didn't they? What did you learn from yesterday?
Look, we just learned that you never give up and keep going till the end. The boys came strong and lost a couple of wickets and changed everything back. So, you know, cricket's a game of passion, and we're pretty passionate people about giving it a go, and, you know, you win some, you lose some. Part of the game, so, yeah.
You love your cricket, don't you? I mean, it's a huge cricket nation now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. A lot of the Afghan around the world love cricket, and, you know, we've been playing tape ball for a long time, and, yeah, so coming into hard ball, Afghan national team done a very good job through the short last 15 years, so yeah.
And what's a good score today? It's 15 overs a side. I mean, if you can get maybe 120, gives you a good chance?
Oh, absolutely. 120, 130 will be a bonus, but, you know, we're going to try to push as much as we can, so.
Well, Khalid, thanks for joining us. Great to have you involved. Great to see the Afghan Eagles going well, and good luck for today and the rest of the tournament. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Good on you. Back to you, boys.
As always, great fun talking to Khalid. He's got very different viewpoints on the game itself, and it's very important that you have someone like him as well in the camp who's able to give you an alternative narrative of what's exactly happened, so that you as a cricketer grow and become more accommodative of different opinions too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And he's obviously the manager. He's got a lot of knowledge to impart.
Very nice to meet you, mate.
Great cricket pedigree, lover of the game,
Yeah, ready.
and would love this format. Pereira from the northern end.
Isn't it fantastic that Harry finds the right people for the right thing?
Oh, it's amazing. It really is amazing.
And that's exactly why cricket keeps growing. Now Pereira has bowled well so far. After that boundary, he's redeemed himself. Dan's got someone else to talk to. It's always great fun.
Well, we're now in the Sri Lankan camp, and they know how to win one-day matches, particularly in this ACL tournament. And the Lankan Lions coach is Bhartia. Bhartia, thanks for joining us. You guys do know how to win matches. You've got this magnificent team spirit, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, T20 cricket's always fun. I think we've selected a group of players who want to play together and have fun. It's worked well for us.
You mentioned playing together. These guys have played together for a couple of years now in this format, so they know each other well. I mean, they've obviously played a lot of cricket together in other clubs and against each other, so they've got a great comradeship, don't they?
Correct. You know, they've played cricket together before they arrived in Australia. I think they played club cricket together. That's an added bonus. And then, you know, the ability to understand each other's strengths, weaknesses, help each other, you know, when in need, has helped us, win 2 titles. Hopefully, you know, we'll be able to sort of
Yeah, big wicket
put
there.
something together for this year as well.
It's a wonderful effort the other
Adam,
night.
the
You had a bit
captain,
of trouble,
yeah,
but you still found a way
punches
to
their
win. There
bat,
doesn't seem to be any
went for the
panic in the
big
camp.
shot out
Yes, it
to
was
the
a tough
leg
situation,
and bowled off stump.
but you know, we bat deep, so that's probably an added benefit. Akshay and Malik came together, put up a good partnership, so we were able to go over the line.
Maybe you need me here to interview every time because a wicket's just fallen. So 3 for 60 in the 10th over. Can you keep them under 100 from here?
And that's the plan. Probably a tough wicket to bat on. You just got to restrict them to a bare minimum. So the chasing is going to be easy.
Well, good luck. Well done on what you've done so far, and look forward to seeing how you go when you get your turn to bat a bit later on. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So we're in the 10th over, and they've just lost their 3rd wicket. Afghanistan 3 for 60. Back to Grant and Suhas in the main commentary position here at Cranbourne.
So Suresh, we had a wicket during that interview. Thanks for that, Dan Lonergan.
Yeah, we'll try and show you that wicket once more. It's the captain of Afghanistan Eagles who's found himself back in the hut due to a cross-batted shot that he completely missed.
So after 10 overs, 3 for 60, the run rate is staying very steady. After 5 overs, it was 2 for 27. So only a 6-run difference there with 33 runs in that last 5 overs. Quick single there, Pereira into the attack, 1 for 9 off 1.
Into the over. At the half, well, we can't say halfway stage. It's a 15-over game. 10 overs gone, 61 for 3. Guidance off the mark, but not mentally because it did hit the middle of the bat.
Let's take a look at some projections. The current run rate takes them to 91. 8 and over 101 and 10. Nelson 111.
Yes, 5 more overs to go in this first innings because remember it's a 15-over contest. 101. They'll be happy with 101. Joined by Dan now, who's having a very busy day indeed.
It's much warmer here. It is cold out there. It's like the middle of winter.
So much of breeze, such lovely breeze, especially if you're a swing bowler. But it's the spinners in operation. Silva gets a game today, wants to make the most of it.
Nice shot across the line to get a run.
What I like about Silva is that he's so unfazed by all that's happening around him. The chatter, the batters giving each other glove love in the middle of the over. Doesn't get irritated at all. Nice and slow and wide. Tries to hit it with the turn. Doesn't carry. Javed knew that he was in trouble for a moment. Felt it was a little half-hearted, that shot.
Well, it was, but I also think he realised that there were fielders out in the deep, and maybe he was taking the pace off it there.
Absolutely. Good call. This should be taken. This should be catching practice, and usually it's the man with the gloves underneath it, and that's the case here. Mapa will not miss it. And now with Ghairat back in the hut, more responsibility on Javed to provide a crescendo finish. Afghanistan lose their 4th for 63.
Yes, he just got underneath that one, didn't he? These spinners are causing all sorts of problems for the Afghans, Suhas, and again just not able to get enough on it, and Mappa doesn't miss.
I think it's been ages since Mappa has missed a catch. He doesn't even know the definition of a drop catch. 2 of 3 for Gairat Mangal. 63 for 4 Afghanistan Eagles.
So they think they can get, well, I suppose they've got to be optimistic. When I spoke to Khalid a couple of minutes ago, the owner of the Afghan Eagles, maybe 130. I think that's being a bit optimistic, but 120.
The crows were flying outside the
Yes.
frame because they needed to accommodate the catcher. He's the star.
Correct.
Lovely camera work there, though.
Brilliant. And
Irrespective of all the flutter in the frame, he decided to zoom in and capture that moment for all of us to see. It's a very good catch in the end, because what's important in catches like these, Dan, is calling nice and early. Asking others not to come near him.
And he was determined, wasn't he?
And never took the eyes off the ball.
Now that's a nice shot, isn't it, Suhas, because he took the pace off the shot to allow it to bounce in front of the fielder with long on.
Yes, and that's good adapting to the conditions. Oh, off the back foot. It's a little difficult to complete that run as well when you're playing off the back foot, because that's when you have to shift your momentum, shift your weight, start running. Comparatively, it's easier to run for a single so quick when you're on the front foot.
But they've given away an overthrow, which should disappoint this very disciplined Sri Lankan side.
Well, look at Silva. So stoic, not an emotion. You had to prize out an emotion from Silva. He's a bit like Mahendra Singh Dhoni. That way. 11 gone, 65 for 4. A very good over.
Do you think someone like Dhoni would be paddling like a duck underneath, but on top would be very, very relaxed?
Absolutely right. And this is how 65 for 4 has happened for them. Some of the Manhattans reaching 8. I think in the power play of the first 4 overs. Again, in case you joined us now, it's a 15-over contest and the power play is curtailed to 4 overs. The first 4 overs, they ensured, despite losing wickets, that they were able to get to a decent total. But after that, a little slump when the spinners were introduced. The Manhattans are so symmetrical, especially after the power play. It reminds me of this, of the reception that your SIM card's getting.
All over the place.
All over the place.
Up and down.
The legendary Kulasekara. There was so much fun chatting cricket with him, especially that World Cup final. We were talking about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who smashed a 6 to win the World Cup for India in 2011. Guess who the bowler was?
The great man.
And Kulasekara still believes that had it not been a length ball, had been anything else as well, Dhoni still would have gone for it.
Just a marvellous, marvellous one-day play. I've never seen a player control an innings like MS Dhoni did. That's why he was the great finisher, wasn't he? I mean, you look at it and think, they're no chance here. 92 off 60. They can't win this. Do it in a doddle with him at the wicket.
And the fact that it was a World Cup, being so unfazed with nerves of steel, everything adds up. And that's exactly why that run chase would be remembered for a long time. Good slower delivery, back of the hand. And when the legend does it, you tend to realize the importance of adapting with the changes in the game. When Kulasekara started off bowling in his life, there was nothing called the back of the hand slower delivery.
No.
He picked it up as game evolved. And that's exactly why in 8 deliveries, he's given away just 4. He knows when to bowl which delivery. A touch full. Couple of runs there. Good throw from Balal.
But they need boundaries. See, he played 21 test matches, and it probably wasn't the format of the game that suited him, because he wasn't quite a good enough batter to be even a bowling all-rounder, with the greatest respect to him. But the one-day format was his format. He was a specialist at
You
it.
did remember a couple of times when he bailed his team out of a difficult situation with the bat in hand. This seems to be straight enough, and Seneca thinks so. He's put the finger up.
Oh, that looked plump.
Javed missed a slower delivery. It didn't bounce as much because it was slower. It's the back of the hand stuff.
Hit the back pad slightly. When I say the top of the pad, but he was crouched a bit, so it was certainly going to hit the stumps. No doubt about that. So an almost innings from Javed Khan. Suhas, 16 of 24. And they want to get a wriggle on if they get to 100 here, Afghanistan.
100's a crucial number indeed.
Yes.
When you're asking the opponents to chase 190 deliveries, with the cloudy conditions and good fast bowlers that they have already, Afghanistan Eagles, it can be a tricky total. But they've got to be careful of the back of the hand stuff. That's exactly what Tavish is mentioning to Dawa. Tavish himself is just 2 balls old.
Provided they bowl well. They didn't bowl well early yesterday, the Eagles, did they? And
Isn't it?
Adam Amin did say maybe I should have brought myself on early, and he was the one that slowed it down a bit for the Mavericks.
Down, yes. And Dan, isn't it surprising that the conditions are screaming the swing bowlers will ace the game, but it's the spinners who picked up more wickets?
It's become a spinner's game, hasn't it, this format?
I'm so happy hearing that, if that's true. Good carry, good bounce.
Were you a spinner yourself?
Turned into one.
Leggy, offie,
Offie.
Chinaman,
Offie.
Google bowler, left arm Google.
Offie.
Offie. Left or right?
Right arm offs.
Right.
Otherwise, I become orthodox, remember?
High arm action?
Yeah, high arm action sometimes bowled from 1 o'clock
Right.
and not from the 12 o'clock position. Something that Muralidharan used to do.
Yes. Nathan Lyon and Ashley Mallet of Australia, very high arm action, excellent bowlers.
And exactly, and a very high knee as well, one of them.
Very high.
3 runs on a wicket in this over. Kulasekara does well for his second. 12 gone, 68 for 5.
So Kulasekara is allowed to bowl 3 overs. It's a maximum of 3 overs for the 5 bowlers. He's bowled 2 so far, so he's got 1 more to go. Landmark, our major sponsor, along with the state government. Exclusive migration. Game right accountants. So many of them involved, and we thank them for their support for this tournament.
Silva bowling the crucial 13th over. You need a big heart as a spinner. You need a very big heart as a spinner to be throwing the ball up like that for Dawa, who's pure muscle.
That's a good delivery though outside the off stump. He was wanting him to go for it. He didn't move his feet. That's why he missed it.
And I can promise you one thing. I was nowhere as good as Silva in terms of spinning the ball as an off spinner.
Well, that's a wide. What were you, a bit of a nude nut right arm spinner? Well, the left armers are more than it. Darren Lehman, Sanath Jayasuriya.
Terrific shot. And this is what Dawa has been sent out for. Dawa in Hindi means a promise, and that's the promise he's delivering. Big shots. This is very innocuous. Got into a lovely position.
Well, we saw 2 balls ago. He went for one very wide of the off stump. That one was closer to his wheelhouse.
I love the way you say wheelhouse.
Well, it's become a big Australian term when it comes to your occupation and and what you do.
Yes, absolutely. And that's one more thing added to my very particular Aussie vocabulary list. Remember, a couple of stints with you on commentary was like a trip to the zoo.
Yes!
This should be taken. Kulasekara, a little bit of a fumble perhaps, but ensure that those big bucket-like hands were grasping the ball at the right time and not letting a blade of grass touch it.
That again was a bit like earlier in the over, Suhas, very wide of the off stump, just inside the blue line. He didn't move his feet, he got connection, and I reckon he needed to step out, put the big foot forward, and then he might have got better connection and not skied it as much as he did.
76 for 6 with Dava returning for 7.
Yeah, they're in a bit of trouble here.
15 deliveries left in this innings. And very importantly for the Lankan Lions, 2 new batters at the crease. Tavish has seen a lot of demolition of his own side from the non-strikers in. And it would be interesting to see who is going to join him.
We saw that a bit last night with Will Basisto for the Perth Phantoms. He was down at one end for a long time as wickets fell early.
Crunched through covers but no run. Captain Mahela Udavata. There's never a right time to get out, but I still believe that just when the batters were trying to kick on, they found themselves back in the hut. And hence it was a very wrong time for them to get out. Oh, very courageous, and the courage brings reward. Another good catch by Kulasekara.
Excellent catch. Just not getting the shot in the right direction, straight down the catcher's throat, and one of the best catchers, most experienced players out there, as we know, in Kulasekara. Disappointing here for the Afghan Eagles. Shinwari out for a duck off 3, and they're tottering at 7 for 76 with 2 overs left. Good effort by Silva, 3 for 15 off 3 too.
Slow and loopy outside off, and Kulasekara in a good position this time around to complete the catch.
It's catching practice, isn't it, in a lot of ways?
Absolutely. He was hitting it against the wind, Dan, and that became more problematic for the batter. With the wind, could have carried itself over the rope. The wind is quite strong.
I mean, you've got to try and be switched on for every single game, but to me, the Afghans haven't quite got their oomph going with their batting. But as we know, Suhas, this is an outstanding cricket side in this form of the game.
Absolutely right. And Zara Kasil knows that too. Finding himself at the non-strikers end because the wicket fell off the last ball. What a good over that was. 2 crucial wickets in that over. Despite the over starting with a 6.
Attempted slow one.
Tavish is all smiles.
Maybe because he knew he was beaten by a very good delivery.
Nuwan Kulasekara and Tavish, who have played a lot of cricket with each other as well, good friends. There would be some Sinhalese banter.
Well, it's wonderful to have him in the Dandenong District Cricket Association, playing for Dandenong West.
Now Kulasekara. Slow outside off perhaps. He's a couple of times bowled in a manner in which the batter feels that it's there to be driven but unable to make contact.
He's mixed it around beautifully.
Keeping it away from the arc of Tavish.
There's been a lot from the Afghan Eagles, as far as I can see. Suhas of just swinging from the bootlaces without moving their feet.
That angle is also helping the bowler.
And again, beautiful bowling.
Tavish is looking at a bat in disbelief. But I don't think it's the bat's fault.
I think it's the way they're trying to execute. Step out. I know it's, look, I wouldn't make contact. Well, no, I would make contact. Straight in the air.
3 of 6, Tavish. Oh, got it now. The story of missing and misery ends for Tavish as this one struck timber eventually.
What a great performance by Nuwan Kulasekara. It's called roping a dope, basically. You have him playing and missing, playing and missing, playing and missing, and then bowling one right on off stump, which is as good a delivery as you're likely to see. And if you're playing and missing, you're going to not be good enough with the best ball of the lot, as far as I'm concerned. Haven't you heard that expression, roping a dope?
I have a lot more to learn, I realize. 3 of 7, Tavish not good enough on the given day. 78 for 8, Afghanistan Eagles, who now run a danger of being bundled out too.
Disappointing performance this. Kulasekara's last ball coming up, 2 for 9. And the bowlers again have shared it around. Great team performance from this Lankan Lions. Once more.
Ajab Durrani. He can use a long handle, Ajab Durrani.
Normally wears number 1. He's wearing number 13.
Today the jersey numbers have changed a little. Would that bring change in fortune? Oh, Kulasekara has missed his mark. Doesn't happen very often. But free runs gifted to Afghanistan Eagles because the ball will be reloaded by Kulasekara.
And these runs, considering it's been difficult for them to score, will be like gold. I don't think they've got anywhere near enough. And I even think the win viz would be 75-25.
What if it finishes with a blitzkrieg for Afghanistan Eagles? What if Ajab strikes a few now that he has the strike? Last over coming up, 82 for 8.
Well, he's got 4 wickets in 2 games, Nuwan Kulasekara. I thought the first 2 overs yesterday or on Sunday weren't brilliant. His next 2 were terrific. His 3 today have been a masterpiece.
That's been the problem for Eagles. Adam is the only one who got a star. Javed did so too. Both of them played 24 deliveries apiece. But after that 2-3-7-0, that's where they lacked the fizz required for a bubbly finish, a good finish.
Low Tats Lotto numbers in this state. 2, 7, 5, 8. And your supplementary number is 0.
Now last 6 balls of the innings, Pereira has been given the ball in hand. This could be a big gamble. Ajab's got to go for 2, but yes, settle for a single. Was a little late, Ajab, to turn for the second. Now Zarak hasn't faced a delivery. 2 new batters at a time when they had to go swinging at the ball.
There wasn't enough intent there with that run.
It's those little moments, Dan. It's those little moments which can come back to haunt you. Good thinking by Mapa. Immediately the glove came off to have a better grasp on that ball. Get the throw in. This time the second run is on. And easily taken.
Good use of the feet. And I'll tell you what they did well then was taking the pace off the shot. Placing it to perfection where the fielding had to come from the boundary. Meaning there was no one inside the circle on the onside. That's excellent.
Sweep shot once again by Ajab Durrani. And it's going to go for 4. It's a story of overrunning. That should have been stopped.
Oh, I think it was a bad bounce too, Suhas. We'll see. He also got nutmegged.
That one I know.
Beautiful shot.
There's so much torque that the ball tends to spin away from you.
Well, he's in the right position and got away from him.
Couldn't put away a full toss. Would be
Oh, that hurts.
frustrated. It's been a very decent over with the ball to go. The final delivery of the innings. 9 runs of it so far. Afghanistan have breached the 90 mark. That's psychological. The call is for 2. It has to be 2. They've got to go for it. Maybe even a 3. Maybe even 3. But Solomons is not wasting any time to get to the stumps just in case they go for 3. So at the end of 15, it's 93 for 8 for Afghanistan Eagles. And the Lankan Lions would need 94 to be pronounced winners. Can they keep this streak continuing?
Well, it's a run rate of just over 6 and over required. And if it was 20 overs, it's over 120, which we tend to think is par. Although this is quite a good wicket. So, 94 the target.
And this is how they reached 93 Afghanistan Eagles. We'll get you the batting card. Suri bowled well. I thought today his inclusion has been excellent. Tessin, 9 of 8, Lachan. Now, as far as Lochan is concerned, he would have wanted to hang around there because he spent 9 deliveries for his 2. He always backed himself to cover up towards the end. Not to be today, Adam and Javed were the only ones to get starts, and that's when the partnership prospered and Afghanistan Eagles were entertaining thoughts of getting over 110. Ghairat, Havish and Dawa unfortunately missed out today, and Shinwari didn't add to the troubles of Sri Lanka Lions either. After Ajab and Zarak were able to scamper through for a couple of runs and 1 boundary included in that partnership, it was Afghanistan Eagles who got to 93 for 8 at the end of their 15 overs.
12 runs off the last over. They also missed out in a full toss then, but that was a bit better. Kuraseka 2 for 13, 11 dot balls. Look at the dot balls. Arosh 5 dot balls from his 2 overs. Jayasundra brilliant, 2 for 10 and got 2 wickets in 1 over. His first over, 11 dot balls. Silva had 10 dot balls and took 3 for 15 with his spinners. And Pereira a little bit expensive, 1 for 20, but they just shared the wickets around, which is what this Lankan Lions team does. So 94 needed in 15 overs, run rate at 6.27. Suhas, can they get them?
Well, only time will tell, but what we can promise the viewers is that we'll be there for every ball of that run chase. Can the Lankan Lions continue their streak? Will they continue to roar here at the KC Fields, or will Afghanistan Eagles find a way to claw themselves back into this tournament with a win at this stage? The run chase coming up in a moment's time. Stay with us.
going to go for 4. Well, the weather's a lot better, and Sri Lanka get the better of the conditions, the Lions, chasing 94 in 15 overs, thanks to Landmark Investments. A tough time at the batting crease for the Afghan Eagles, finishing with 8 for 93, 12 runs off the last over. Adam Amin top scoring with 28. Nuwan Kulasekara took a couple of wickets. And so did Jayasundra. He took 2 in 1 over. And they shared the wickets around. Grant O'Hara has joined me, Dan Lonigan, in commentary to see if Sri Lanka can remain undefeated. Grant, 93, have they got enough?
Look, I don't think so, Dan. I've just got a feeling that this very well organised Sri Lankan side is going to chase this down. And look, the reason why, if you look at the groups of 5 overs, the Afghanistan Eagles really didn't have any gears. They stayed in sort of second and third gear. The first 5 overs, they scored 27. Then the next 5 overs, they scored 33. And then the last 5 overs, they scored 33 runs. And that included 12 off the last over. Now, normally you accelerate through your innings, and when you only have 15 overs, but you still have 10 wickets to work with, you really should be looking to accelerate. And unfortunately in that innings, there just weren't any gears. So I think they're a little light on at the 93. My thinking is that the Sri Lankans can get it with at least an over or 2 to spare, but that's just surmising.
Well, they can get themselves out of any position. They were in trouble in the middle order with the spinners against the Wolves the other day and still won. ACL has kicked things off with a Yorker, which is dug out into the offside, no run.
They did look really good. They have looked very, very good early on in the tournament, the Lankan Lions. They're probably just going to use different players in different positions, just experiment.
Prayadashana is the impact player who's opening the batting and gets another Yorker length ball.
So just making sure I've got this right about the impact player. Obviously be a bowler or a batter, and can be used only once. So there's only one. There's 5 players that could be called on as the impact player. They can only be used once, and they're injected during or after a milestone.
That's my understanding. Zakil bowls to Pradashana, who whips this one away. No protection there on the onside, and he didn't bowl to his field. He flicks it away and they get a boundary.
And 6 of them. 6.
Yes.
Good start.
Over the top.
That was just a lovely, nonchalant flick off the hip. A drag down by the medium pacer. Set up, asked to be hit, and that's what happened.
I thought initially it might have just bounced before the right. Next time he tries to cut one that is slightly wide of the off stump, didn't move his feet. There's point in the way, and there's cover and extra cover inside the circle. So again, you've got to execute it correctly to clear that airily.
Yeah, there's protection on both the square leg and the cover boundary. Suggests maybe he does bowl a little short at times.
He drops this away, he's not sure where, and he has to quickly get back. It's fancy footwork by Zakil. Did he get back in time? There's a bit of clamouring and colliding between Danith and also Zakil. There were feet and arms everywhere, flying all over the place.
Yeah, I think he got back, but he was a little, well, let me say a little slow to actually react. I think he was thinking about the shot, and great wherewithal by the bowler. Got through, socketed onto the stumps.
Well, he didn't know where it was. Bounced behind him. Here's Sakil. Oh, that's good bowling. Short of a length.
And good cricket, because that was just sway out of the way, watch it through. Don't be tempted by the short pitch delivery. Get through the first over, no wicket. Dan, as a Queenslander, this to me is a day in weather terms, that I see as fairly synonymous with Melbourne. It's just that overcast, heavy cloud, but you think for any moment it's going to rain, but it's not.
We do have some sunshine, Grant, but you are right. They say in Melbourne, though, just wait 5 minutes and you'll get a bit of rain. You'll get a bit of missile. You'll get a bit of sun. You'll get the rainbow. Then you'll get a bitterly cold wind blowing in your face.
Shinwari to take up the bowling from the northern end. Casey Fields, what a magnificent precinct. I just love it. Everywhere you look, there's some form of sporting field.
A lot of elite sporting clubs based down here. Shinwari.
Like Shinwari. I get from Shinwari a really thoughtful player that he's got a few grey hairs there, which just means experience. And plenty of it. And look at that. Beautiful shape.
That's why you're so experienced, Grant. He's got a full head of hair, though. Shinwari again, this takes the top of the bat then. And he did okay to sort of go the soft hands on that occasion. Chandamar just to ensure it ballooned away and landed safely in front of the squarish third man fielder. He's off the mark. None for 7 in the second, chasing 94 to win.
And Shinwari will take encouragement from that. Nice line and length.
Looks like it's cleared up a bit, brightened up considerably.
Yeah, I can see some innings. Blue sky to the... What's that, the west? West?
That would be to the south. Southwest. Good running. Pushed away to the onside. Running with the shot.
So the run rate established by the Afghanistan Eagles was 6.27. Brings us to the score of 93. And the required run rate 6.37.
Shinwari again, hustling and bustling, beating outside the off stump. That's a beautiful piece of bowling.
Yeah, Chandimba, I beg your pardon, just hanging his bat out to dry there, not committed one way or another. Good bowling.
And that's another great piece of bowling by Shinwari. 2 rippers in a row, just poking the bat out slightly. Chandamar, not a lot of footwork, and it's none for 8, but he survives.
Potentially the Josh Hazlewood of this side. He just finds that line, finds that length. The ball do the talking. And none for 2. With the last pull of his over.
Good opening over. Again, he had to jam down on one that was Yorker length. Kept it a little bit low. Generally, the wicket playing fairly true. And pushes into the onside. So a very good over by Shinwari. That'll give the Eagles some confidence. None for 8. They're below the run rate required at the moment, the Lions, but they haven't lost a wicket yet.
So the captain's got to think about, all sorts of things. But who's going to bowl at the death? Who's going to be the death bowler? Bowl those last couple of critical overs, and you'd think that he'll use Chinwari sparingly early, having got off to such a good start, and maybe holding back for those last couple of overs. It's only 3 per bowler because this game has been reduced to a 15-over game because of the late start due to the conditions.
Here's Zarak. Another quick bowler. This is driven hard and firmly, and there's a misfield as well. Took his eye off the ball then, allowing the batters to make the run comfortably. Well played by the impact player, Pradeshana, Demith Pradeshana, who's got 8 actually. Quite quick, again pushed into the onside, and he was on the back foot then, Chandamar. And because he's bowling reasonably quickly, he was forced on the back foot and just poked it into the onside.
No damage done, good call.
Cut away again, short delivery, but once more there's that packed offside field intercepting and preventing a run. So 1 and 2 dots so far, promising beginning by Zarak in this over.
The fielders are at deep third man and deep mid wicket.
Again on the back foot, but there are some gaps there on the offside. Played it nicely. Good defensive shot from short of a length delivery.
He's charging in, Zarak. Is some nice speed. Has to vary the field now for the left-hander. They'll push the gully going back to the deep third or coming back into the circle.
It's a busy action, isn't it?
It is a busy action. It's a nice quick action at the crease.
This is launched away. It was in the area to be able to drive over the top, lofting over whitish long off to the boundary for 4. Nice shot by the man who's been aggressive so far, Demith Pradeshana.
Nice shot. Just lofted it over the midfield, infield, the ring. Down for 4. Perfect length just to get underneath the ball.
He gets beaten by a good one outside the off stump. Did he get an edge? He did. He's been given out, caught behind. Just a very, very faint edge, but I think he's reviewed it.
He's just talking to his partner, and he's reviewed.
Yes.
Good call, Dan.
Good delivery. It came back in. Didn't it? And it didn't miss the off stump by much either.
That's a really nice delivery. A leg cutter or an off cutter to the left-hander would have been a leg cutter to the right-hander. Just, if anything, it must have taken the inside edge.
Because I'm wondering whether there is a gap.
Oh.
If there is an edge, it's as faint as anything.
How are you, these umpires, trying to make decisions like that? If you're not hearing anything and you're going by eye only. Oh.
Yeah, I think he's missed it.
I'm with you.
My
Dan.
humble opinion.
I think he's missed it too. You know, I've been bowled. Tony Dell bowled me off the stump. The bars didn't come off, and he thought I'd nicked it. And I said, no, I didn't nick it. So it is possible that, even if it's kind of flicked the off stump on the way through.
And the bails didn't come off.
Side on, does this help us?
Not really.
The batter
Again,
was quite convincing.
I keep saying, if you're looking for something, you need to make a decision.
So we're just waiting on the third umpire. With good reason, is taking some time to deliberate over this one because it's extremely close either way.
And I know the third umpire, Ash Barrow's big on should take 90 seconds, but sometimes the decisions can be a bit more difficult than that.
And he survived.
Yeah.
Not out.
It
One
was
of the
close,
oldest traditions, yep, that changed the decision. One of the oldest traditions in cricket. If in doubt, not out.
Correct. Dennis Pradeshana has batted pretty well, and they'll breathe a sigh of relief, the Lions. 12 off 10. They need 80 to win, and there's a discussion there. Adam Amin, the captain. 80 off 72 required. Impressive though with his bowling, Zarak. It's got one to go. Under the format today, it's 4 overs in the power play. So one power play to go, one over to go in the power play. And the bowlers are allowed a maximum of 3 each.
So number 14 we have after the 3. Chan Dimma survives for another day.
And Shinwari, the workhorse. Into
is where his feet are.
He gets 3 there, Denith. He's just not able to turn the strike over regularly enough. That was a delivery on line. He flicked it nicely, but mid-wicket intercepts.
Let's see the replay. The good chase, slide, and the flick.
Well, he went over, but the ball was way behind him, as you can see.
Yeah, a bit of a missed opportunity there. The leg stump, leg side exposed. We've got a sort of a deep backward square on the onside.
And there's no protection at deep mid-wicket. There's the traditional bowl himself out.
Plenty of experience here. A good captain knows
okay
when to bring
too.
himself on.
They need a wicket though. Steers this down to long off.
Let's have a look at his bowling plans. It'll be just out on an outside off stump. He's got a left-handed, right-handed combination. What's he going to do? He's going to go over the wicket. So his stop will be the off spinner and his variation will be anything straight. The wicket here taking a bit of turn, so he'll look to get a bit of purchase.
They weren't quite ready for him to bowl. This is flicked away cleverly by Chandamar behind square. As Grant said, a lot of protection out of that onside. And they only get 1. Both players on 16, none for 32 in the 5th, chasing 95 for victory.
So they need dots. They do need dots because the run rate's only 6, just over 6.
Takes an outside edge, but lands safely. It was a bit edgy there from Dennis Pradeshana.
So yeah, the Eagles just can't let this game get away from them. The dots will do it. It's good enough for the LANKAN Lions.
Tapped away, and it beats the infield. So there's a chase for 2. They'll come back for 3. That is audacious and brilliant running. I didn't think there was a third, but in the end, there was a third comfortably, Grant.
I just have one of the real joys is to see a 3-run in a T20. So easy just to have the twos and the boundaries, but get on your bike, turn twos into threes.
None for 36. They need 58. They need a wicket. Afghanistan, that's a good delivery. It pops away from Prior Deshana, but safely. A little bit more bounce there. Concerned him, but he survives the left-hander. Again, dabs into the offside. Good running.
Well, that's advantage the Lincoln Lions, Dan, because at the same time, the Afghan Eagles were 2 for 27, and the Lincoln Lions none for 37 off their 5. Let's take a look at the score comparison. After 5 overs, 2 for 27, the total of 8 for 93. The Lincoln Lions none for 37, so advantage to the Lincoln Lions. So the Afghanistan Eagles are going to need to build a little bit of scoreboard pressure here, and that's going to come with wickets. So wickets now are very, very important, or if they just let this game run its course, as noted earlier, 1 run is enough for the Lincoln Lions. So they're going to need to get wickets. And welcome back, Suresh.
Thank you so much, Grant. I love the symmetry with which the run scoring is happening here. Priya Darshana is 18 of 15 deliveries. Chandima, 19 of 15 deliveries.
So they're both contributing equally. That's, I think, what you're alluding to there.
Yes, and still they're not matching each other shot for shot. And that is the tacit learning for the youngsters watching this game. They're playing every ball according to its merit, and they believe that they can get to 94. Banks needs to find out the chinks in the armory of Sri Lankan Lions.
I've got a feeling there's no coincidence that this team is very well organised.
Wonderfully played. Just the ease with which he has found the gap as well. This deserved to be a boundary.
And that Mahalia is their captain, because such an experienced player, an international player. And this is the beauty of this tournament and these types of formats, when you get an international player helping to organise the team and set plans. It's got to reverberate around the whole team.
Absolutely right. This could be a moment. Oh, it's going to land safely.
Yeah, could you imagine being a young player and taking advice? He looks like a super bloke too, by the way, just a genuinely good person who'd like to share his wealth of experience and knowledge, and someone like him just giving you advice, it would be worth so much.
I thought he started off well with the bat in hand as well. Someone in form, actually. Lachlan. Oh, good ball. That angle seems to be working for Lachlan. Just curbing the batter's instinct to create room, go over the top. Still that single is taken. This is good cricket, Grant.
Yeah.
Ensuring that it's not a dot ball so that the pressure is maintained. And the fact that the scoreboard keeps ticking. The bowler is bowling to two different batters then. He's not getting settled bowling to a single batter. This is good thinking by Priyadarshana and Chandima.
Oh!
You expected more from the fielder. I felt that jump was a little early. Who said timing is only for the batter? It's also for the fielder.
Yeah, he may have just had a little trouble picking it up first of all, and then, yeah, you're right, the timing just wasn't quite there.
7 runs at the first 4. I think Lachlan has come back really well after conceding a boundary first ball. You don't want the batters to dictate terms.
Absolutely not. And he's looking to go full now. Push the deep, long off back.
Ooh, that is why this angle works. You might not get an LBW appeal in your favor, but there's always an opportunity of creating the outside edge if you're willing to change the pace of the ball.
Yeah.
And Lachlan did exactly that.
A classic left-hander delivery. Look at this. Just rolls his fingers, the leg cutter. Beautifully bowled.
We are back live. Just in case you're thinking it was a replay, it's just Lachlan being Lachlan. So very accurate. A good comeback after conceding a boundary first ball. Just 3 runs after it. 7 totally. 6 gone. 44 for no loss.
He's a good player, this Lachlan. He first grade cricketer, of course, so he's played at a really decent level, and he batted beautifully. He's bowling nicely. He's real value to any side he plays in, of course.
The firms suggest that wickets were lost at regular intervals for the Afghanistan Eagles, the Lankan Lions, rather, now are way ahead of where the worms of the Eagles were.
We can see where the Afghan Eagles lost a couple of wickets early and then had to put a partnership together and then just had a 6-wicket collapse in the last 5.
I was very surprised to see 2 in the middle of the W's there in the worm.
Yeah.
What does that signify?
2 wickets.
2 wickets?
I lost 2.
In the same,
They were 2
same
for
over?
27.
Usually you have the 2 dots on top of each other, don't you?
I've only just written that down, that there were 2 wickets, and I know they fell in the 1 over, so I put 2 and 2 together and got 2.
49 of 53 seems to be a very straightforward equation with wickets in hand, of course. Adam Amin. It's a very good delivery. On the stumps, someone who thinks like a batter. Adam Amin.
It seems to be the way that you, on the leg side, you only one man just behind square. A lot of the teams are applying that strategy. We just have one on the onside inside the circle. Dead ball. Not sure what do we lose the bails? Starting to get a bit breezy out there again.
Now, if both the captains agree, remember, if both the captains agree, we can even continue the game without the bails.
It has happened.
Very well fielded. Knew that on a good outfielder this kind at Casey Fields, if the ball is going past him, it's going to go for 4.
Yeah, I was saying, Suresh, I just love this facility and this ground and the colour. And how beautifully the organising team have put this whole tournament together.
Little did Adam Amin know that he'll be bowling with bright sunshine.
Yes, this now there's a real parting of the clouds. It's the most blue sky we've seen all day.
Typical Melbourne. 4 seasons a day.
That's it.
That was struck really well by Chandima.
Suresh, there's a great New Zealand band called Crowded House, and they've written a song called 4 Seasons in One Day, and
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it was it was a,
They must have penned it down here at the Casey Fields.
Yeah.
So nice. Okay, you've given me some more homework.
Yes. Oh, you'd like that band. I think you'd like them, Suresh.
I'd love to go through your playlist someday. 70s and 80s. I was minus 27 years old when you started listening to that music. Dan told me about Queens. Dan told me about Carpenters.
Oh, yes. Oh, good memory.
I'm on top of the world looking, something like that. He was crooning.
Now we're under a run of a ball, 46 or 48.
Oh wow, this angle seems to do magic for Lachlan. It's a third time, which is a genuine waft, and Chandima is practicing the cross-batted shot, Grant, but his instincts are causing him to go for a punch through the offside.
Yeah, it's a good matchup. It's one that the Afghan Eagles are winning here at the moment.
And the cross-batted shot hasn't come off. Oh, put down. No, it's a juggling act by the captain. Banks cannot believe it. That stayed up in the air for ages.
There he goes. Cross-batted shot. Didn't quite come up. He's got it. He's got it again. He dives. Oh! Agonisingly close for the captain. One wicket normally brings two, or can bring two, and that's what the Afghan Eagles are looking for. As Suresh called it, really good bowling there by Lachlan.
He's generated the opportunity, but the captain has put it down. That cricket ball was treated like a hot potato.
Look, no catches are easy. It was floating, and he started one way going right, and then he had to back and go left, and then he got a good piece of it and juggled it, and then just couldn't keep it close enough to take the catch. In the meantime, we get a single. Chandima back on strike.
When in doubt, don't bowl. That's the learning. Because as a fast bowler, you're thriving on rhythm. If you're off even a little bit, you might concede runs. That bat of Chandima reminds me so much of Mahendra Singh Dhoni because of the roundedness. Hardik Pandya as well was introduced to the same roundedness of the cricket bat towards the end. Not of his career, of course. That's still a long way to go.
.23 off 25. 27 off 21.
Runner ball 44 is still straightforward. 50 up for the Lankan Lions.
See the replay again.
And this time it's the batter who's got a problem.
Replay got it high on the bat.
And this is where that ball became hot potato. Well, where are we? Where are we? Oh yes. Here we are. Quite a juggling act. This has been hit well enough. Not the one that you see on the screens. Oops. Now we are back live, of course. 51 for no loss. A single was taken meanwhile. Runner ball 43.
After 10 overs, the Afghanistan Eagles were 3 for 60. And we've still got 2 overs to go to get to those 10 overs. So the Lankan Lions well in front.
That's a beautiful shot indeed. And this boundary will settle the nerves. There was a period of complete unsettlement. With Priyadarshana's drive, the world is a better place. What a way to end the over. 7 runs of it at the end of it then. 55 for no loss.
Yeah, he was unlucky there in that over, Lachlan, because you could see him working to a plan, as Suresh was saying. It was slide across the right-hander, dig one in, go for the cross-batted pull shot, come hook shot, got the top edge and unfortunately put down. But we're going to spin. Spin from the southern end. To congratulate and give a rap to the cameraman. Well done, you guys. It's never done it before, but it can't be easy following a cricket ball. They They do it, and they're doing it extremely well. Well done.
Required rate of 5.57.
So now under the starting run rate.
Time for leg spin. Gabe Lawson. He's got a good googly too. Interesting to see what he decides to go with. First ball. Straight down the ground from Chandima. Running between the wickets. Marvellous indeed. Took the throw on. And 2 runs complete.
Good start by Lawson. Landed that one nicely. Oh, I've never been a leg spinner, but it must be nerve-wracking starting a spell, just wanting to land them, get into your rhythm.
Oh, good ball. Now, if
Very
you do not
good ball.
give room, Grant, is that the right way to go about it? If you do not give room, the batter is in trouble.
Absolutely.
Because they wrist turn on the surface.
Absolutely. Yeah, spot on. And always, Suash, when you bowl your leggies or your offies, if you're going to full, fulls, I'd rather you bowl a full toss than what we call a half tracker, something that sort of sticks into your head and drags down short.
Yes. I think Afghanistan Eagles were found guilty of that yesterday, especially bowling to Ronnie, where they bowled more balls in their half as bowlers than the batters half.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good reflection. Didn't Ronnie bat well?
Ronnie was in no mood to spare those deliveries.
No.
He wanted to take the leather of them. The flick shot that he played, I think, is one of the best shots we've seen in the entire tournament so far.
Oh, that was an absolute beauty.
Good use of the wrists. Sri Lanka getting a really good start today.
What's the rest of the tournament look like for them? They've had a couple of games on the trot here and building some lovely momentum. So Saturday we have the semi-finals, and then Sunday the big grand final. Christmas Eve. If you're in the region, in the territory, come down. Have a look. It'll be fantastic cricket.
Oh, that is hit really hard. And it's been put down once again. It's not for the lack of opportunities. It's about grasping them and not grassing them.
That's really unlucky for Lawson too, because yes, he's landed that one nicely. It did create an opportunity for the sweep shot, and square leg. Yeah, he's disappointed. And no easy catches, but there are some that you take more times than you drop, and that was one of them.
He knew immediately that he was in trouble there.
Yep, down on one knee, hit it straight to the fielder. And normally during catching practice, if I was sitting in the middle and I was just hitting that to the square leg, he would have caught that.
9 out of 10 times he would have got that. As we have a look at it again, this is as simple as it gets. It's been that kind of a day for Afghanistan Eagles.
Catches win matches.
And the converse is true.
Yep, absolutely.
Man, I'm afraid it's the Eagles who are learning it the hard way. 61 for no loss in 9.
You know what I'm saying, if I'm these two batters, no one else is getting a turn. I would, given that we've got things under control, I'm wanting to be here. How nice would it be if we could be none for having gotten the runs?
That would be a statement sent to the opposition and the other teams in the contest. Situation is not such way they had to take crucial singles like these with risk involved. 32 or 35 with all 10 wickets intact.
Looking like we're asking for, yes, a change of gloves or some ice on a finger. It's going to hold up play for a moment while we get some attention. So Suresh, what's your cricket team? What cricket team do you support around the world, and particularly in India? Have you got a team that your preference?
Not when I'm on commentary. I'm neutral.
Of course.
Otherwise, it's the Indian cricket team.
Of course. Where were you during the World Cup? Were you over there?
As you would like it. I was in the US. I covered the World Cup till the semi-finals and for a radio channel, the world's largest radio channel. And then I was off to the US to cover another tournament. And as luck would have it, when India were being thrashed by Travis Head and co. by Australia, I was alongside a wonderful Aussie. His name was Kevin Darcy.
Yes.
He was a part of our production in the US, and he ensured that everybody knew that it was Australia who won, especially the Indians in the sets.
So he was your producer for the coverage.
We call him the everywhere man. He takes care of almost everything. Kevin Darcy is such a wonderful person to work with.
That's good. That's really good. So you saw the final from the US?
Yes, while we were commentating on our game in the US in one of the tournaments, one eye was always on the little screen that we've got from the mobile phone.
Who won that tournament that you covered? Do you remember?
You mean the World Cup? Oh yeah, it was Australia.
No. No. I said I would only say that once. I'd only say that once. But who won the tournament that you covered?
The New York Cowboys.
New York Cowboys. The New York Cowboys.
It was a franchise tournament, yes.
Right. And did you get some crowds? Did they get some crowds? Or?
That's the ultimate aim. And I really hope when tournaments of this kind happen at regular intervals, there will be crowd as interest will prop up in the local people too in Florida. It's a beautiful cricket ground. It's the same cricket ground in Florida where the World Cup's going to be held. It's one of the 3 venues that have been decided in the US.
Let's talk about this. I love this tournament. We have 8 teams now. It's growing all the time. We've got teams from all parts. The introduction of the Perth side, the Perth Phantoms, who look resplendent. Thank you.
Resplendent, yeah.
Yeah, in their purple yesterday, I thought.
I love their logo as well. It is so exciting. It reminds me a little bit of Halloween, but whoever designed that, kudos to them. It's got something about it, some mystery about the logo as well. So next time the listeners, watchers, when the logo is on screen, click a picture of it and analyze it for yourself. You can let us know on our socials that if you like it too.
Looks like the running repairs have been completed, and we're back for Lachlan to take up the bowling, number for 15. And look at that, what a lovely shot. Might be a little bit rough up there.
I tell you what, our team at Set Sports, it's also got a drone. Shall we send it up there?
Wow! Glad that wasn't close.
Who said it's only the cricket ball flying today?
I like that, Suresh. So we're back, single, down a deep third man.
I wouldn't mind being in one of those airplanes.
Do you know,
to get a view of the KC Fields.
I was at a game in at the Gold Coast watching Queensland versus England, and David Gower got into a plane.
Wow!
And flew around a joy flight. We call them joy flights.
Okay.
And I was at that game.
Dancing down the track, he's gone straight down the ground as well. Didn't make the contact he would have wanted to, but a couple of runs nonetheless. Lachlan is creating opportunities.
And because it was a small plane, he was flying around and hanging out the window wave. He just got out. He hadn't.
What?
It made the front page of the paper. It was, and he's still renowned for the time he got up and did a joy flight during a game of cricket. David Gower. Oh!
This is terrific, and this is going a long, long way. Priyadarshana is in a hurry to finish things off.
What's the next suburb, Dan?
Dan, where are we retrieving this ball from?
Let me think, yeah.
Dan's just opening the Google Maps in his mind.
That's going down to the Mornington Peninsula, that one. It's terrific shot. Well, they're making what we say in Australia, a good thing of this now. The Sri Lankans, none for 71.
How well has he batted there? Chandima, 29 or 31 himself. Priyadarshana is the one who smashed the 6. Good comeback by Banks, but still it's beaten the man inside the circle. It'll be a single. And he's literally sauntered to the other end. Hasn't run.
At the same time, we're nearly at the end of the 10th over. The Afghanistan Eagles were 3 for 60, none for 72 with 1 ball remaining in the 9th. And it'll stay that, none for 72. And I'll hand over to Dan Lonergan to bring them home.
As Dan joins us in commentary, Sri Lanka 72 for no loss. If you look at this game phase-wise, it tells you a story. The Eagles in 1-4 were able to get 25 for 2. It's a 2 wicket that they lost, which put them on the back foot. Lions, however, were quite comfortable with 30 for no loss. From 5 to 10, the game is where the Eagles tried to eke out some more runs, and they lost to a wicket, however, but were able to add 36. Lions were splendid in 5 to 10. They have upped the ante, and they've done so brilliantly. 42 runs without losing a wicket. That makes it very comfortable for them towards the end. 11 to 15 is where Eagles lost half their side, and Lions are closer to victory. Dan Lonergan to weigh in on this and more.
Haven't been able to get wickets and take their catches. That's been the big issue, hasn't it? So this is the 11th over. This could be over pretty quickly. Priyadarshana as the impact player has been magnificent. And look at that for a cricket shot.
He uses his feet brilliantly, doesn't he? Pacer or spinner doesn't matter to him. Lawson's learning it the hard way that if you see Priyadarshana in great form, you got to throw it away from him, because he loves reaching towards the ball, much like this.
Yeah, it was in the hitting zone, Suhas, wasn't it? And as you would say, when you're using your dancing feet to Wang Chung, Wang Chung tonight, he was having fun then, straight down the ground.
Cross-batted doesn't help. Missed it completely. A smile on his face suggests that he's missed out on a shot that could have got him the half century that he so dearly deserves. He's pushed for 2. But he'll only get a single because that's a very good throw.
Great to watch players when they use their feet and they get to the pitch and they play the shot they like to play. The good players have spin over the years that have used their feet. Dean Jones is one of those.
Just outside the reach, there is no long off. This will go away for 4 as well. Risk taken.
These are learning times for young Gabe Lawson, Suhas. We spoke yesterday about the inconsistency with his bowling. He'd bowl 2 or 3 good ones, then he'd bowl a full bunger like that. He'd bowl one down the leg side which would be tugged away. And look, this will come with time, and playing in a tournament like this will no doubt help him, I reckon.
100%. It'll help him indeed to grow as a cricketer. This was a wrong one which he picked. Chandima has guided this to another boundary. Lawson's learning, but he's learning it the hard way.
Well, I can't remember a more comprehensive performance from a team in this tournament so far in the 3 years I've been watching it than this today.
And it's come from Sri Lanka, who seem to unlock a new level every time they take the field. Aussie Cricket League 2023. They've been the stars of Aussie Cricket League before. And now they are playing like 19 or 25. This could be over sooner. That's a good delivery from Lawson and a polite appeal from the keeper. 11 gone, 85 for no loss.
Well, I remember Suhas, they lost the first game back in the first year of it, and they had medium paces and it didn't work. And then Calipotera, who's gone on and had a good career at Casey South Melbourne and Victoria and the Renegades in the Big Bash, he changed the way they played and predominantly bowled spin for the rest of the tournament, slowed it down, and they went undefeated, and last year they played a similar sort of game plan.
You remember that game versus India? Sri Lanka eked out a win thanks to good pace bowling from, I think, Nirosha.
Correct. Yeah, they went for the pace bowlers a bit more last year, but I remember after the loss in the first game first year, they used 1 over of medium pace for the rest of the tournament. Yeah.
And Kumbujaya Sundara as well was phenomenal with the ball in hand, and Hemanta Kumbujaya Sundara this time around has been equally effective. Picked up 2 wickets today in the same over. Now Priyadarshana, 48 of 31. Surely is looking to finish this game off and be there till the end. That'll give him more confidence. That'll give him more satisfaction than a half century only. It's good to have players who see the milestone to be 94 at this stage and not 50. Priyadarshana is one of them.
Well, that's right, and he'd be the third player to get to a half century. I think that if the game had continued last night, we would have seen Will Bazisto get there as well. He looked in great form. So we're getting bigger scores and some fine individual performances with the bat in a tournament that has been dominated by the ball, especially the spinners.
In the air, but that's been the story of the day. It'll fall safe. Very frustrating for Amin.
Was fielded by Zarak, who plays for North Dandenong in Turf 1 in the Dandenong District Cricket Association. In this part of the world. That was better bowling. Suhas sort of took the outside edge of the bat, squared up Chandamar, but it's all happening for them, isn't it?
Seven required now of 22. Just 1 run away from what will be a terrific half century. Perhaps a tournament defining half century for Priyadarshana, has got an opportunity and made the most of it. A soft-handed single gets to the other end. You could see what it means to him. 50 for Priyadarshana in just 33 deliveries, ensuring that this game was single-handedly won. 6 more runs required in 21 balls, and it's the way he's paced this innings that'll be talked about for a long time. Well played.
Well, this is the 5th game of the tournament, and we've been talking about the impact players. This is the first time that the impact player, he's come in as a batter, has had the impact that the impact player would like to have, if you know what I mean.
He's done justice to the category in which he was picked in. But with this performance, he's made himself a candidate to be picked in the first 11 itself. So good an adjustment, Chandima. And in the end, somehow Gabe Lawson was able to keep it in play. A hit away from victory.
Well, you're right, he was on the move, wasn't he?
This was not an ordinary half century. He had to scamper through for that single and had no time to drag the bat, but as soon as it missed the stumps, Damit Priyadarshana knew that he's reached his half century, and it's something that he'll savor at the start of a tournament, given an opportunity, but not in the first 11. terrific to watch. He scored runs on all sides. Priyadarshana. And very rightly so has hit the winning runs too. Backing away and smashing a boundary. The Lankan Lions win convincingly by 10 wickets.
Yes, with 19 balls to spare, that was as comprehensive a performance as was seen in the entire tournament. I don't think I've seen a better all-round performance in the team so far. We've seen a team bowl well, a lot of teams bowl well in this tournament, now in its third year as we've mentioned, but we haven't seen a team probably bat as well as that, including their bowling performance, which was professional, clinical. They did everything right to restrict Afghanistan to only 8 for 93. Jayasundra, as Suhas said, has been a star in this tournament. Got a couple of wickets in one over, and they shared the wickets around. Kulaseka did a great job again, and then the opening partnership wasn't broken. Unbeaten with 95. They dropped a couple of catches, Afghanistan, who've battled a bit in the field so far in this tournament and have now dropped 2 games, and you think are out of contention to play in the final, which of course is on Christmas Eve next Sunday. So a terrific win, a comfortable win, 15 overs aside. You look at the weather now and you think it's very hard to fathom that we had rain early days, which saw a late start to proceedings today. So 15 overs aside, 4 overs for the power play, maximum of 3 overs for the bowlers, and well done by Sri Lanka. The Lankan Lions are undefeated, and at this stage it's still very early days, a small sample of the tournament. They look the team to beat. We haven't seen the Sydney Kangaroos yet. Mind you, we've got the Sydney Mavericks playing next against the Canadian Wolves, and they were very, very impressive yesterday, especially with their batting display. Let's have a look at the scorecard. It was a pretty good scorecard. Priyadarshana Grant, who's rejoined us with 54 off 34, the impact player, and as I said to Suhas, the first impact player that has probably had the right impact in the tournament so far.
Yeah, great condition, I love it, and for the impact player to come in and have such an impact was fantastic. And those 2 openers would have been saying to themselves, let's get these ourselves. Yeah. Let's not let anyone else, and that's why he gets the 50, but he also would have been so pleased that he actually saw that through. I just had a feeling that they're very well organised, the Lankan Lions. They're always going to be different to toss.
Well, the bowling cart, Zarak was okay, the local player from North Dandenong, none for 12. Shinwari was expensive, none for 28. Look, not a lot of dot balls, 14, 17, 22, 25 in total. Just over 4 overs of dot balls for the Eagles. That won't win you too many T20 matches. And they did receive a little bit of attention from the Sri Lankan openers. So looking at the overall summary, of which certainly the Lankan Lions got the better of the conditions with the bat. It was a little bit overcast for the Eagles. 8 for 93, only Adam Amin Grant with 28. Javed got 16. Look at the bowling. Silva 3 for 15 for the Lions. Hamatha 2 for 10, Hamatha Jayasundra, and Kulaseka 2 for 13, and then Priyadarshana 54 off 34, and Chandamar, who took a little while to get going but eventually batted beautifully, 41 from 37. So the next game coming up, and they got beaten on the opening day of the Canadian Wolves, but were okay in patches. Sydney Mavericks, how good did they bat yesterday, Grant? 178, and they managed to defend that against the Afghan Eagles and made 157. So Sydney Mavericks looking to do what Sri Lanka have done, remain undefeated after 2 games. Canadian Wolves looking to get their first win on the board. So that's coming up very shortly here from Casey Fields, day 3 of the Aussie Cricket League. And it's a great pleasure to be here, thanks to, among our sponsors, Gainwright Accountants, and also, of course, the Victorian State Government, our major funding partner.
The Sri Lankan Lions humble the Afghanistan Eagles as the Eagles get their wings chopped off today. 93 with a bat in hand after winning the toss. But Sri Lankan Lions, it was at the end of the day, who ensured that 94 was easy work for them due to splendid batting and well-timed aggression. Without further ado, it's time to talk to the captain who came second, Adam Amin. Hard luck, Adam, but new mistakes, and it's good to have new mistakes because you're improving then, not making the old ones.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we just weren't good in the field again today. It was the same thing as yesterday, but it happened. It's cricket, I guess.
93 at the halfway mark. What was your thought in a 15-over game? On a surface of this kind, I felt you battled really well.
Yeah, I thought it was actually par. I thought we were going to do quite well, but obviously they batted really well and got it done quite easily in the end.
As far as fielding is concerned, some of the hot potatoes were put down, but it was not just the catches. I think there were certain moments where you could have capitalized better.
Yeah, I think we just, as I said before, we weren't good in the field today. So yeah, we've got learning curves from there, but we'll go to the next game.
Well, the Aussie Cricket League is getting bigger and better. New benchmarks need to be set indeed. Hard luck for today. All the best for the next one.
Thank you, thank you.
The captain of Afghanistan Eagles, Adam Amin. Let's have a chat with the winning skipper who's making it a lovely habit to win as well, Mahela Udavate. The Sri Lankan Lions roar and the captain roared the loudest today. You have so many bowling options. You could just close your eyes and throw the ball to somebody. He can pick up wickets for you.
Actually, it's a good thing that most of the guys can bowl. So I had to choose at what time, when do I need to use them. That's it.
And then you being the first team to have an impact player as a batter, he delivers.
Yeah, actually, myself and coach discuss about this stuff because it's going to be hard. So we need to put an extra batsman as well. So he delivers at time.
Did you prepare any differently for this game? Because the batters seem to be very comfortable against the pacers compared to spinners.
When you in this figure, it's you can't predict how it's going to go. So I think both the players played extremely well. They adjust to the wicket and they batted really well throughout the innings.
Well, 2 in 2, keep the momentum going and keep roaring as well as the Lankan Lions. Congratulations on the win, Mahela.
Thank you.
Mahela Udavate, the winning skipper. Well, it's time to introduce you to the presentation party. We've got a very special guest. I request Mrs. Cassandra Fernando, MP Holt, to be here. She'll be giving away the player of the match as well in just a moment, but we can't let her go without a chat. Miss Cassandra, first of all, the widest smile. Sri Lanka won.
Yeah, well, I am Sri Lankan born, so I'm very proud of the Sri Lankan Lions. Please give it up for the Sri Lankan Lions. Fantastic win. And with 10 wickets in hand, wonderful. And Afghanistan, you played really well, but Sri Lanka did really well today, so yeah.
I think you as a guest is just a reflection of the Aussie Cricket League itself, isn't it? The Sri Lankan Lions winning and this particular arena being a culmination of so many beautiful people coming together from all walks of life.
Yeah, I always say there are two things that bring people together. That is food and sport. And also Australia being world champions this year was a triumph. So yeah, and Casey Fields, it's in my electorate. And I'm very honoured and proud that you guys host this event every year in my electorate. So thank you so much, ACL.
And finally, a word in Sinhalese for the whole side.
No, it's fine. It's okay.
Well, that's what sport teaches you as well, isn't it? Go outside the comfort zone.
No, it's fine.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We will trouble you a little bit more because you're going to give away the Player of the Match award, but I'm very sure you'd be happy doing that too. Yes. This wonderful cheque of Australian dollars 500 belongs to one man who was sensational with a bat in hand from the word go. Again, timing the aggression is one of the best things that he did today, apart from the fluent drives and sensational hooks. The Player of the Match is Priya Darshana for his unbeaten 54. And the roar tells you how popular he is. Deserves every bit of this. Priya Darshana, if we can have a chat with you. Thank you so much, Miss Cassandra. Now, Priya Darshana, You weren't in the starting 11, but did the coaches convey that you will always get an opportunity up top? Be prepared.
Yeah, I want to first of all thanks for the coach and captain because of trust me, and I did my job very well. I'm proud of myself.
You must be proud of Chandima too, because batting seems so simple when you're batting with him.
Yeah, I know it's Chandima as well because we are playing a lot of game in the together. But when we go into middle, we always planning. We are not giving to our wicket and stay in the wicket. That's our plan. We did well.
And finally, the bowler seem to have an angle with which they bowled at you and Chandima to take it away from you. How did you counter that, at least mentally?
I just what this guy is bowling yesterday, and when I bat, I read always the guy. Yeah, that's the thing.
When you play an innings like this with 54 not out and single-handedly dominating the opposition, we can't let you go with only a check. So I request Miss Cassandra to give away the lovely trophy as well that you'll add to the cabinet. Thank you so much, Miss Cassandra and Priya Darshana, for that lovely performance. Indeed, the ACL brought to you by Landmark in 2023 has unlocked new versions of itself. The cricket is getting better and better. And with that promise, we'll meet you very shortly at the toss of the second game, because it's the Sydney Mavericks who are taking on the Canadian Wolves. Don't go anywhere. Another nail biter coming up.